The drama surrounding the WNBA right now is bigger than one podcast clip, bigger than one vote, and bigger than one player. It feels like the league is standing at the edge of something historic, staring at its brightest future, and somehow deciding to play with matches instead of protecting the fire. A strike vote has just been authorized with an overwhelming 98% approval. And on paper, that sounds like unity and strength. In reality, with the timing and behavior surrounding it, it feels reckless, almost self-destructive. Because while Caitlin Clark is publicly begging for common ground and pleading for everyone to keep the momentum alive, some of the loudest veteran voices and media allies are doing the exact opposite, mocking new fans, questioning motives, and acting like growth itself is a threat. This is not just league drama. This is sabotage, dressed up as activism. To understand how wild this moment is, you have to zoom out. The WNBA just came off its biggest year ever. Record-breaking viewership, sold-out arenas night after night, corporate sponsors finally lining up with real money and long-term interest, casual fans tuning in, not just once, but staying. Team USA training camp wrapped with genuine optimism, with Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese, and other stars sharing the court and reminding everyone how deep the talent pool really is. For the first time in a long time, women's basketball felt like it was moving forward together, and then, out of nowhere, a podcast clip detonates. Sue Bird, Megan Rapinoe, and Katie Nolan sat down to talk about growing pains in the WNBA. That alone is fine, necessary, even, but what followed wasn't thoughtful critique. It was condescension. They chose to single out new fans, particularly those drawn in by Caitlin Clark, and frame them as toxic, unserious, and motivated by reasons that had nothing to do with basketball. That clip wasn't accidentally leaked. It wasn't misunderstood. It was intentionally clipped and posted because they knew it would go viral. And it did, for all the wrong reasons. What made it worse wasn't just the message, but who delivered it. Katie Nolan openly admitted she doesn't really watch the games, that she's a casual who just keeps tabs. Yet here she was, participating in a conversation that painted diehard fans as fake while positioning herself as some kind of authority. Fans who wake up in different time zones to watch Indiana Fever games, who buy tickets, jerseys, and league passes, were suddenly being lectured about how they're watching wrong by someone who barely watches at all. That's not insight, that's arrogance, and it lands hardest on Caitlin Clark, who has reached a level of fame where she's no longer treated like a person. She's become a symbol, a lightning rod, a content engine. Everything around her is monetized, weaponized, and debated. Her fans are scrutinized more than her game. Her popularity is treated like a problem instead of a gift. And through all of it, she keeps saying the same thing over and over again. We have to play. We have to compromise. We have to keep this going. At the exact same time, this podcast drama is unfolding. The WNBA Players Association quietly made a move with massive consequences. They authorized their executive committee to call a strike whenever they see fit. 93% participation, 98% approval, full power handed over. In theory, that's leverage. In practice, right now, it's a loaded gun, sitting on the table while the league is finally attracting mainstream attention. Think about what that means. At the very moment when momentum matters most, when casual fans are turning into regular fans, when sponsors are finally confident enough to invest long-term, the league is openly flirting with the idea of shutting everything down. Better contracts matter. Improved travel matters. Marketing matters. Player empowerment matters. But none of it exists without games. Without a season, there's no revenue. Without revenue, there's no leverage. And without momentum, there is no future. Here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody in WNBA media wants to say out loud. The people complaining the loudest about new fans are often the same people who weren't watching consistently when the league was struggling for relevance. The analysts who say Caitlin Clark dominates coverage rarely use their platforms to meaningfully highlight other players unless her name is involved. The podcasters who act like gatekeepers of women's basketball often admit they don't even watch full games, and yet they feel entitled to tell the audience how to behave. One prominent voice even said that Caitlin Clark's fanbase sucks the life and fun out of the league. That before these fans arrived, there was more variety, more joy, more to talk about. But here's the simple response. If you want to talk about A'ja Wilson's MVP-level dominance, do it. If you want to break down Breanna Stewart's consistency, do it. If you want to spotlight Sabrina Ionescu, Nafisa Collier, or Alyssa Thomas, do it. No one is stopping you. The reason it doesn't happen consistently isn't because Caitlin Clark fans are blocking the door. It's because those conversations don't generate the same engagement. Everyone knows it. That's why, even articles meant to celebrate other stars often sneak in a random jab at Caitlin Clark, not because it adds context or depth, but because it sparks debate. It drives clicks. It feeds the algorithm. Caitlin Clark has been reduced to a tool, a name you drop to juice numbers, regardless of whether it makes sense. She's not treated like a 23-year-old navigating pressure. Injuries, security issues, and expectations no one her age should carry. She's treated like content. Even something as small as the Indiana Fever releasing a 2026 calendar without her on it caused an uproar. Fans immediately assumed disrespect, not because it was proven, but because the discourse has trained them to expect it. That's where we are now. The relationship between the league, the media, and the fans is so poisoned that even innocent explanations feel suspicious. That's not healthy, and it's not sustainable. Now imagine what happens if this strike authorization turns into an actual strike. Negotiations stall. Someone decides they've had enough. Games are delayed or canceled. Casual fans drift away. Sponsors pull funding. Media attention dries up. The league snaps back to where it was before the boom, or worse. And the players who suffer most won't be the veterans with established platforms. It will be the rookies, the role players, the ones who finally had a chance to be seen. This isn't about being anti-player or anti-fair. Treatment is non-negotiable. But timing matters. Strategy matters. And right now, too many people are choosing emotion, ego, and engagement over long-term vision. The WNBA is at a crossroads. One path leads to sustained growth, cultural relevance, and real wealth for players. The other leads back to obscurity. Caitlin Clark, at 23 years old, seems to understand that better than people who've been around the league for decades. Keep playing, keep building, keep the door open. It's not complicated. It's just not profitable for outrage-driven media. So here's the real question. Do you think the league is protecting its future or actively undermining it? Are new fans really the problem? Or are they the reason this moment exists at all? And if a strike happens, who should truly be held accountable for killing the momentum? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this breakdown helped you see what's really happening behind the scenes, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to the channel and stay locked in, because the clock is ticking, and the next decision the WNBA makes could define its future for an entire generation.